My name is Tanya. I'm the program coordinator of the MBA International Management at Pforzheim University. And with me is Janina, who would also like to introduce herself quickly to you.
Hello, everybody. It's really nice talking to you with you today. And I'm the admissions coordinator and usually the first point of contact for all candidates who are interested in our program. So I'm always open to any emails and questions you might want to send to me. And now we're ready to get started with our presentation about the MBA in International Management at Pforzheim University. So first of all, where are we located? Where is the city of Pforzheim? So actually Pforzheim is a mid-sized city in southwest Germany, and we are located in the greater Stuttgart region, which has a lot of companies, which Tanya will show you in a second. But first of all, let me point out that we are very close to big cities like Frankfurt or Munich, for example. And through our railway network, it's really easy to travel around Germany when you want to visit cities like Berlin, for example, or to travel to our neighbor countries. So we are really close to the borders with France, with Austria and Switzerland. And this is very nice for weekend trips, for example. But also we have the Black Forest nearby. So Pforzheim is the gate to the Black Forest, which is a huge nature area, which is great for hikes and leisure activities when you have free time. And now we move on to the next slide.
To give you a better impression how it really looks like in Pforzheim and surroundings, we brought along a couple of pictures for you that show the city center. Pforzheim is located on the banks of 3 rivers, and we enjoy sitting outside in coffee shops or restaurants in summertime. As Janina said, the Black Forest is so close by that we love to go hiking or cycling in the Black Forest area. And in winter, you can even go skiing here. Pforzheim is known as the City of Gold. Since for over 250 years, jewelry and watches have been produced here in Pforzheim. Janina mentioned already that the southwest of Germany and in a surrounding area of between 40 and 80 kilometers from Pforzheim, there are many well-known companies and many companies located. So Pforzheim is located in an economically very strong region with a low unemployment rate. There are the big players that you all might know, like SAP, Siemens or Bosch, and of course the automotive industry with Daimler and Porsche. But there's also many mid-sized companies. We call them the hidden champions, since many of them are global players and global leaders in their respective industries. Many of those companies are still family-run. They are traditional family businesses who have been founded many years ago, and they all together form the strong backbone of the economy in the southwest of Germany.
Now on this slide, we would like to give you a short overview of Pforzheim University's history and a few more facts. So actually it all started in 1877 when the School of Design was founded. So Pforzheim University looks back quite a bit of time now. And later the School of Design got joined by the School of Engineering and the Business School. And the business school was founded in 1963. Today, the business school has around 3,500 students who are taught by 97 professors, and we have approximately 100 partner universities all across the world. And for internationality, it's also important to point out that we have around 900 international students who come from 17 nations all over the world. And we move on to the next slide. And yeah, here we can see that the business school Pforzheim has in total more than 17,000 graduates today, and they come from 14 bachelor programs and 12 master programs. Of those master programs, we have actually 2 MBA programs. One is a part-time executive MBA program, which is all taught in German. And then there is our MBA in International Management, which is a full-time program and taught in English. Actually, Pforzheim University was the first German public university ever allowed to grant an MBA degree. And this started in 1996. Also very important to note is our AACSB accreditation, which was first achieved in 2011 and got re-accredited twice since, most recently this year. And we move on to the next slide.
Now, as Janina mentioned, we look back on a very long tradition of quality education, more than 25 years of our MBA program. And with the next slide, I want to give you an overview onto our MBA program. Our program is open to candidates from all different backgrounds, no matter whether you are an engineer, a lawyer, whether you did your bachelor's in liberal arts or you're a physician. Our program is open to all of you. All those candidates that do not have a business background, they would do our 21-month full-time MBA program, starting every winter semester in October. And within this first semester with us, we will teach those candidates the foundations in different business areas. For those of you who are holding a business degree already, they can skip the first semester and start in the second semester unless they want to brush up their knowledge and also do the 4-semester course. They could do the so-called short track that starts in the summer semester in March every year. The course language, as mentioned before, is English, so all business classes are taught in English. Our education is based on 2 pillars. Firstly, it is the general management education, and secondly, the specialization in innovation management, sustainable globalization, and digital transformation. All very important topics for today's business world, and we want to have our graduates ready for the future. From the second and then especially in the 3rd semester, we offer electives to our students in consulting, in marketing, and in finance and accounting. So either they know already which career they want to proceed after their graduation and take those electives accordingly, or some of our students just want to find out where their strengths are, what area of industry they are interested in. So they would choose and try and find out what it really is, what they are most interested in, whether it's consulting or marketing or the finance classes. We praise ourselves to have a very small class size, a very low faculty-student ratio, because we believe that interaction is very important. So our faculty, they do know our students, each and every one of them, they know their names and they offer individual support to our students. They're very approachable. As Janina mentioned, we do offer German classes. They don't clash with our business classes. So studying with us means that you are able to learn German, which we would recommend to everyone who plans to stay in Germany after their graduation and work here. That makes life much easier. And we do offer those classes in all different levels. In those German classes, of course, you don't just meet the other batch members of your MBA class, but also other exchange students coming from all over the world. It might even happen that you sit next to a student from Taiwan Tech, for example, who are a partner university of Pforzheim University. Our professors, they are all practically very experienced. Since we are a University of Applied Sciences, all our professors, besides their research work, need to have worked at least for 5 years in the industry in senior management positions. Besides that, we also have guest professors from partner universities visiting and teaching here in our program. Our tuition fees are, compared with other MBA programs, rather reasonable. The reason for that is that we are part of a public university, which means that we don't have to make big profit. We put back into the program so that we can offer the education at a very reasonable price to our candidates.
So here we would like to provide a short overview of our MBA courses and the semester structure. So as Tanya pointed out, we have 2 intakes, one in winter semester and one in summer semester. And in the first semester, we provide the foundational courses for all candidates who have not completed a previous business degree. So we have courses in, for example, finance and accounting, in marketing, but also human resources management, and of course, foundations in economics. Then the following semester is when the business graduates may start with us. This is when we go into more depth and focus on our core areas and advanced business topics such as innovation management, strategic management, business controlling, but also project management, for example. And we have our first elective courses. And there will be even more electives during the 3rd semester. And those electives are meant to offer every student the opportunity to pursue their own career goals and their own interests. So students can choose, for example, from courses in marketing, in consulting, and finance and accounting. And also, as part of our elective offerings, we have a company project, which is a semester-long project with an actual company in the region. And a group of students will work on a consulting or marketing project with a company. The 3rd semester also has the optional opportunity to spend the semester abroad at one of our partner universities. Again, this is optional for international students, but it might be a nice opportunity to get an even broader international exposure during your MBA studies. And then in the last semester, in the 4th semester here, this is when our students write their thesis, and the thesis can sometimes be written with a company or independently on a topic of their own. So this is up to the students to pick their thesis approach. And throughout all semesters, we have what we call the company experience. So this is when we have guest talks in classroom on campus, but also when we do visits at companies in Germany and many more opportunities. Tanya will tell you a little bit more about it later. And also throughout the semesters from semester 1 to 4, we have German language classes, as mentioned before. So students can start on their individual level. So we have courses ranging from A1 to C1 throughout the program. And now we move on to the next slide.
There we go. Sorry about that. Now, you might ask, what is so special about our MBA program at Pforzheim University? Firstly, it is the intense cooperations with companies. We take our students on excursions. In the first semester, it's a 2-day excursion. The second and the third semester go on 3-day excursions, where we take our students to different companies. We meet with representatives. Our students get company tours, for example. And very important, they also do get in contact with the HR department of those companies to find out what kind of employees those companies are looking for, what type of applicants they are looking for. That is a great chance for our students to network with those companies. It's not just the big players that we are visiting, like SAP or Daimler, Microsoft or Accenture. It's also the mid-sized family-run businesses that we are visiting. And many of our alumni landed a job there after their graduation. Another thing is the guest in classroom talks. We invite managers, CEOs, or senior executives onto campus, into our classroom. And after giving their talks, they are there to answer the questions of our students. They discuss with them how their future could look, for example, with their company. Some of those guests in classroom, they are our own alumni. So we have every now alumni coming to us and telling our students about their own experiences and, of course, supporting them when they apply with different companies. The company projects, as mentioned by Janina, which takes place in the third semester, is a real-life project with a current company. The students in 3 to 4 people groups, they work for 4 months on this project, and they have the chance to put into practice what they have learned in class. The second thing that is quite special about our program is the cross-cultural experience. That starts in classroom already, since we have students from all over the world. Usually we have between 5 and 10 different nationalities in one batch. Added to that are our guest professors that teach business classes in our program. They come from the US, from South Africa, UK, sometimes from Canada or Peru. And they actually also broaden our students' horizons in showing them different approaches from other countries than Germany. In the third semester, you could also decide to take a semester abroad at one of our partner universities, and we even have a double degree with the University of Wyoming and with the Ischede University in Lisbon, Portugal.
Now here, I would like to provide a short overview of our admission process and the application steps. So first of all, for the admission requirements, candidates need to have completed a previous undergraduate degree, which can be on bachelor level, but of course it's also fine if candidates have already completed a first master degree. Then an important requirement is the GMAT or the GRE test, which is a general admission test which needs to be taken in advance before admission can be granted. And for the GMAT, our expected score is 550, and we accept the GRE equally, and the GRE score can be converted to a GMAT score. So for the GRE, just the same rules would apply. It should match a converted GMAT score of 550 or higher, of course. Then, since our program is all taught in English, we want to make sure that everybody is on the same level of English language skills. So we need to see proof of English language skills either through the TOEFL or the IELTS test. And also, if a candidate has already completed a previous academic degree in English language, we also accept that as proof of English language skills, and then no further test is required. Next on our list is work experience. So we expect all candidates to have at least 2 years of full-time professional work experience after the first university degree. And this is to have students benefit more from the classroom teachings and also reflect on own experiences and share them with other classroom participants during the sessions. Then next is further documents are a motivation letter and a one-page essay on extracurricular activities, and this one can cover anything from volunteer activities, hobbies, sports, or other interests that you pursue in your free time. Once all documents are complete, we run an eligibility check, and then the next step would be an interview, which is a 30-minute interview, which we usually conduct via MS Teams. And after the interview, we give feedback within 2 weeks. So it's a pretty straightforward process. So from applying to receiving a feedback, it usually only takes 4 to 6 weeks. Then the application deadlines are June 15th for our semester intake, for our September intake. This is for candidates who still need a visa, just to allow enough time for them to apply for a visa, or July 31st for those candidates who already have an EU residence permit. Then for our March intake, the application deadlines would be December 15th or January 31st. Please also note that we have a rolling admission system. So while we have those deadlines, we also accept applications throughout the year. So right now it's possible to apply for winter intake next year already. And all applications can be made through our website. On our admissions page, there is a link which leads to our online application form and the platform where you can upload your documents. And now we go to the next page.
Now we gave you so much information about the application process, about our program and university, and I'm quite sure that you are interested as well in what people that have been doing our program have to say. So we brought some testimonials along, one from Johannes from Germany. He thinks that his MBA, doing his MBA with us was a great experience. He actually did a double degree with the University of Wyoming. He spent a semester there with them. And this time in our program actually helped him to work closely with people from all over the world, which helps him a lot in his current job. Yan Hong from China, she enjoyed the intercultural teamwork in our program and the cooperative projects with renowned German companies that provided great opportunities to get deep insight into their management and cooperation culture. Gabriela from Mexico is another of our former students that took the chance to spend a semester abroad. She spent it at a partner university in France. And she came to Pforzheim University because of its academic quality and the accreditations, which make sure that we really offer the best education possible to our MBA students. Brian from the US, he enjoyed the outstanding academic and professional backgrounds of our professors who, as he thinks, provided him well for the rapidly changing and increasingly interconnected business environment today. Anne from Vietnam, she also praises that our program is practical and focused. It allowed her to strengthen her skills and enhance her knowledge in different business aspects. She especially enjoyed the real-life business cases, group discussions with her batch members, and the company projects. During those company projects and the guest in classroom talks, she could network with representatives from different companies, which also helped her in finding a job afterwards. For Kwame from Ghana, the MBA program helped him to develop professionally due to the small class size and the individual attention from the professors. He learned how to utilize his strengths and to be effective, and that helped him to develop professional skills in cooperation, delegation, and leadership.
Now, with this slide at the end of our presentation, we would like to provide a short overview on how student life in Pforzheim looks like and how we support you here as well. So first of all, very important is accommodation. So we provide all newly accepted MBA candidates with a housing list before their arrival, so they can start applying for a room in a student dorm, for example, before their arrival. As for costs, a room in a student dorm costs around 220 euros a month. And the costs are similar when you look for other accommodation, for example, in a shared apartment. But of course, there's also individual housing solutions, and different addresses of all sorts are provided in our housing list. On average, the general living costs in Pforzheim, including rent, can be estimated with around 750 euros a month. But of course, this always also depends on individual spending habits. Next thing is the public transportation in Pforzheim, which actually is free for students at Pforzheim University. So with a student ID card that you get from the university, you can use all public transportation in Pforzheim for free. So, and this also extends to some of the local trains in the region. In the first weeks before and during your MBA studies, we have a few introductory events and welcome sessions. So first of all, we have a pre-semester German language class on A1 level, and this usually takes place for 4 weeks before the MBA lectures start. So for winter semester, this would be in September, and this offers the opportunity for all candidates who don't know any German language yet to do their A1 class prior to the official lecture start. And then during the arrival week, in the first week of the lecture period, we have guided tours of the city of Pforzheim, of the campus. And this is also the time when the various student initiatives and sports clubs introduce themselves. And this is always a nice opportunity to get in touch with other people outside of the MBA program, to network, and of course also pursue some other activities. One student club, for example, is Gemini, which is the International Students Club. And another thing we arranged to facilitate the arrivals and travels to Pforzheim is a buddy student from the current MBA batch. So we match a new student with a senior student who can give some advice when it comes to studying in Pforzheim.
Besides that, a very important question is, how can I find a job after graduating from the MBA program at Pforzheim University? We support you here. Firstly, by offering preparatory classes on how to apply for a job in Germany, because this might differ quite a bit from the application process you are used to from your home country. Then we have the Career Center. They also do support you when putting together your CV. For example, German employers might look for a little bit different CVs than in other countries. And this Career Center is also running its own platform with job offers and offers for internships, not only in the area, but in all Germany. The Career Center organizes different job fairs and company fairs. One is Meet Master, where the master students at Pforzheim University can arrange interviews with different companies to hand in their CVs, to get an idea what those companies are looking for their new managers. And then there is the Campus X fair as well. This is when 60 plus companies come onto campus, they put up their stands and they network with our students here. Other great networking opportunities, and this is something that is very important to us, to bring our students into contact with different companies' representatives, are the guest in classroom talks, the company visits, and our alumni meetings. Once a semester, we invite between 5 and 8 alumni onto campus, and they share their own experiences with our current students. They have been in their shoes not very long ago, some of them. Others have been working for 8, 7, or many years already. So they share their experiences, they give tips to our current students, and some of them even bring along some job offers. So it's also a great networking event. Another thing that we have implemented in our program is the mentoring program, with which we match an alumni with a current student in the 3rd semester. So those alumni are supporting our students through the 3rd semester and the 4th semester in which the thesis is written. They can give them great tips for the thesis project, but also for the application process in the German labor market. Now, at the end of our presentation, I would like to introduce you to some other very important people of our program. Besides Janina and me, there is Professor Harald Strothmann, who is our program director, and Professor Markus Oliver Schwab, who's responsible for company contacts and projects of the MBA program. If you would like to do a semester abroad, then Jochen Ebert, the coordinator of international programs, would be the person to talk to. And there's 2 more people that guarantee that everything is running smoothly in regard of our schedule, of our booked rooms and everything. And those are Heide Klecko and Sabrina Mitrasch. As Janina mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, please feel free, even after this session, to contact us, to write us an email if there's questions coming up, if you want to have a pre-check of your documents, whatever questions you have, just send us an email. You can also go to our website to find more about our program. I'll move back. Thank you for your attention. And I think now the stage is yours to ask all of your questions.
Okay, Ms. Rombrino, Ms. Walter, thank you so much to help us understand your program better. Second. Okay. It's very impressive to learn about Pforzheim, University of Pforzheim, and one question I would like to understand a little bit better is after COVID, university teaching changed a lot. How do we now have to imagine teaching in Germany? What is happening? How does teaching look like in Germany? How is campus life? Is there any campus life? Do you still have online teaching? How do you work your programs nowadays? Maybe you can just tell us.
Mhm. Well, of course, during the pandemic, we had to switch to online classes to make sure that our students can finish their studies within the time frame that has been fixed before they started. In the meantime, we are back on campus. We are no online program. We are a face-to-face program. So that means that our students are back here on campus. They enjoy being in classroom. The big chance for us is that we only have a max of 25 students in class, so we can make sure that there's enough distance between the individual students and that we can really run our program smoothly. So there is campus life and we are all happy to be back on campus.
So back to normal finally.
Back to normal, yes.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Ms. Walter, I would like to ask you a little bit more detailed question. So if some of the applicants, they're not completely sure whether they can apply for your program, is there any way to contact you before applying for the program to just get sure if all the paperwork, if everything is understood well? Could you maybe elaborate a little bit about pre-application services, if there is any?
Yes, absolutely. This is all part of the information process, and we definitely encourage everybody who's interested in our program but not quite sure whether they qualify or whether it's the right fit for them to reach out to us in advance. And when it comes to having questions about proof of English language skills or the amount of work experience they have, they are always very welcome to email their documents. I will also put my email address again in the chat in a second. So any candidate, just feel free to send an email with maybe the CV or the English language score report, and we'll just have a brief look whether this would be sufficient to proceed with the application. Also, a lot of candidates are not quite sure when is the best moment to apply, when to start the application, so we can just set up an individual timeline and clarify any questions in advance.
So before you apply, just get in touch with Ms. Walter, see if you're qualified for the program, if it makes sense for you, or ask detailed questions, just immediately start out. And once again, I would like to remind all the participants that you can post your questions in the Q&A section. One question I would like to ask is, obviously the program, the MBA program at Pforzheim University is very international. You seem to have students from all over the world. I'm curious, do you also have students from other Asian countries in your program, Ms. Lombrino? How is your collaboration with other universities or even with Taiwan?
As I mentioned, we have the Taiwan Tech, for example, as a partner university. So on campus, every semester, we have exchange students from Taiwan. In our MBA program at the moment, in the first and in the third semester, we do have students from Malaysia, from China, from India as well, but also then from other parts of the world, like the US, for example, from Romania, like European countries as well. So it's really a nice mixture of different nationalities, of different backgrounds. And as we mentioned, they most of them have different professional backgrounds, which is also quite interesting.
Yeah, I was just impressed. Like, you put up this photo of this one class, and I was just trying to figure out where might these people come from, and there seems to be like really every region in the world is represented. All walks of life obviously are attending your program. So that's for sure very interesting to get in contact with so many different people from so many different backgrounds and different knowledge bases. Well, as there is no questions in the chat, I would like to